Hey, welcome. Uh, I think I've beat the. Let's see. Do we have? Can you hear me? Okay. Let's see here. Well, we got one viewer. Let me know in the chat box if you can hear me because I can't see it moving. I can't tell whether we got a microphone or not here. Live chat. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2. Okay, great. All right, we had to do it a little different. I don't think the video is going to be choppy this time because I'm using the YouTube software. And if it is choppy, it's 100% on YouTube. However, I can't see the analytics either. But and another thing, we can't stream in Jitsi, so I can't interact with you. So if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to type it in. I don't understand what's up with YouTube. The volume okay? I've lost my sanding block. There we go. Anyway, as stated in the other go arounds, dicking with the stupid stream. Can you guys hear me? I can't see the volume moving on the microphone. I do no definitions found. What does that mean? No definition found. 5 watchers, please let me know whether the sound is coming through. Because I can't see. You know, I don't know. The video is not choppy, but there's no audio, so that's no good. So let me know what's happening there. Might have to dub it. Okay, good. Good sound. All right. And the video is not choppy anymore. It doesn't look choppy. As I said, if the video is bad, it's 100% bad, 100% on YouTube's end, because I'm streaming with their streaming software. Okay, anyway, what I've been doing, besides working on the stupid stream, is going over these spots, trying to repair any of these little buggers. I had one there on the leading edge. That would drive me nuts. Had to get that out. And I got one on the rudder there. I'm still working on. I got one there on the headrest we're working on. Just pull it in a little closer here. Hit that like button. Drop me a super chat. If this video helps you, make sure you like, subscribe, share the videos. It's a royal pain in the butt to make these videos. Anyway, I don't know whether you guys, how much building experience that some of you have, but anytime you transition on these fillets, there's always a line where the super fill, damn, put my finger in the primer, where the super fill transitions to the silk span. Well, that's the reason for the primer. We're going to try to get that line out. And I can see it here, but you really probably can't get any definition. Yeah, a little bit there. See the dark line running right there? We're going to prime and sand until that line goes away. And that's what makes a real nice fillet. Yep. I got a line right here. So what'll happen is we'll let that dry and sand that line out. Add a little more primer there. Let that dry, sand that line out. There's one right there too. And then hit it with primer again. Once you've gone over the whole model and got all those spots out of it, that's when you bring it down evenly over the whole thing. Get rid of the 90% of the primer. I had a little spot on the cowl here, so I put the aqua green, a dab of that aqua green. We're going to sand that out now. You never know. I might want to fly this in open. Because I'm actually pretty tired of flying big airplanes. Yep, that got it. So, as I stated, there's going to be, I would say at least 25 hours of doing this. Sand it, put it on, sand it off, put it on, sand it off. Because we're going to try to make this better than my Thunderbolt was. But I got to keep it light too, so I can't go too crazy. I don't know how many ever saw my Thunderbolt, but it was Thunderbolt 3 was finished super, super nice. I won the front row for 2 years in a row. After a couple of years, they tend to take a beating. So, I mean, you can refurbish them some. But they all get hanger rash. I know this is probably not as exciting as when I'm over John's house, because then you get to see John doing things, but maybe this will give you some inspiration. Or maybe you need to go to sleep. You can watch this to go to sleep by. any of you guys watched the one video where I cut the headrest off and fixed that crack. You got a dark spot right there. I don't know if that's low or what. I think it's low. I don't know. Do any you guys remember my electric MC72 I built? It's going to get painted just like that. I sold that airplane to Bernie Trent. The sandpaper man. Yeah. Put it on, sand it off. I don't know how many watchers we got or anything because can't see this. Let me see if I can bring up the studio. YouTube. Come on. Creator Studio. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, that's not where I want to be. All right, those videos are gone. The other ones. We want to go to the Creator Studio. I want to see the I'll go to streaming. Hey, we picked up quite a few subscribers. And playlist, videos, analytics, copyright, create. Let's go to go live. We want to go to the studio. I don't know. I'm working on it. Let's see here. That's on. We want manage. Huh. List of viewers. We got 6 visibilities, public, live now. It's too bad they don't have a oh, there it is. Current viewers. All right. All right. There's there's what I was looking for. So I, tinkering around this evening, I figured it out. That's a good thing. All right, let's squirt a little primer. Well, I better finish sanding this. Got any questions? I'm watching the chat box. Like, subscribe, share. Tell your friends to subscribe to the channel. You gotta love sanding if you want to build a model airplane, that's for sure. So this will be, like I say, 25 hours minimum. And then you guys think the sanding's done. Well, that ain't true. Sanding ain't over. You got another 100 hours worth of sanding after the clears on it. Thank you, Scott, for the super chat. We really appreciate it. I hope that I'm hoping that I passing some of these skills on. The lost art. I get so wrapped up in doing this. I mean, it's all I can think about. When I was in high school, I used to take model airplanes to school, and when the other kids were smoking behind the library, I was sanding. I had model airplane parts in my locker. And my friends that I used to fly with, we used to compare parts to see who could sand it the best or paint it the best or whatever. So this has been a lifelong thing for me to, I mean, yeah, I did motorcycles, as most of you guys know. I mean, I'm certified PhD Harley technician, lifelong biker, clubber, all that business, but I always flew model airplanes. It looks like now it kind of froze up there for something. I don't think it's my connection. I think it's just YouTube. I am using Japanese tissue. And the reason I don't use silk is it holds too much dope. If you guys look back at the Saturday videos at John, you'll see me putting on the tissue. I pretty much did a tutorial on how to do silk span and Jap tissue, and it's basically no different than doing silk, except, like I say, silk holds too much paint. The strength in the covering comes from the dope, in case you guys didn't know that. Dope is film, like a 35 millimeter piece of film melted down, acetate or whatever, and that's what dope is. Dope is technically a glue, but the more dope you put on it, the stronger it becomes, because it becomes plasticized. Why are we lagging there? I do apologize, guys, for I've noticed that the thing lagged again, but that's all on YouTube because I'm using YouTube software. Or it could be on the cable company as well. I don't know, but I'll muddle through it. But all this primer is going to end up on the floor when it's all said and done. After I fix all these spots, all the primer will get sanded back off. It'll be so thin you can read a newspaper through it. Let's sand it with this little foam block. but you have to kind of get the buggers out of it before you can bring it down even. This is where the tail wheel goes. Yep, I'm glad you guys enjoy my channel. I hope the heck I'm helping you improve your skills. Use your fingers too. Don't just use your eyes because you can't see nothing. I mean, really. If you can feel it, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. When you think you got it sanded, sand her again because you ain't done. I haven't made up my mind where I'm going to go around the leading and trailing edge. Of course, the wheel pants will get done. And I just want to refrain from using too much primer. Because all that means I got to sand some more. I still got my quarter clear for top coat, so now I was told by Gerald, not the Gerald from New Zealand, but another friend of mine, that they put a gallon of clear on and only added an ounce. I don't hardly believe that, but paint is heavy. You'll notice I'm kind of skipping around. The reason being, thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate the super chat. That's what keeps the thing going. As Steve Hines says, I make it look easy. And it is easy. But it took 50 years to make it easy. Merry Christmas to you, Steve. You new guys, new pilots, watching me sand, it is, don't be discouraged if you don't sand like I do. I've been doing this over 50 years. So there is techniques involved that I'm just not going to be able to teach over the internet. I have a light over here. I have real bright lights overhead. I'm looking at the shadows, candling, and doing my cross hatches, and we're just trying to make this look like one piece of plastic. Just think baby grand piano or a Steinway piano or a high-end piece of Japanese furniture that's been done in lacquer. And if you watch those Japanese carpenters, the joinery they do is phenomenal. I would like to go to Japan and apprentice under some of them master craftsmen, them joiners. Buddy, they can flat joint some wood that you don't even need a nail or glue or anything. The joint disappears. It's perfect. These spots right here at the trailing edge, leading and trailing edge lines are the most difficult and take the most time to make perfect. I'll probably go over this spot 10 times. I'm gonna have to put this all together and see what it weighs. Started out at 35. I would be able to live with a totally primed airplane at 36, but if it's much more than that, I killed it. So I'll put it, before I go to bed tonight, I'll put it together, weigh it, and see how much primer I got to sand back off to get it down to 36 before I shoot the color on it. Remember, on my painting system, you get 1/2 pint of color. So that makes 1 pint thin. That ain't much. I used to, wow, got the light here. That looks like hell. I used to put as much paint on them as it took to make them opaque. But that ain't how you do it. You got to sand more and use less. And I've said this before, but I'll emphasize it again because it's kind of important. If you get a chance, go to a chrome shop where they're chroming motorcycle parts or whatever. The chrome on the metal is 50 millionths thick. If you took all the cars, you know, especially now there's no chrome on them, but back in the 60s and 70s when all the big cars had chrome bumpers and chrome trim and chrome hubcaps and this, that, and the other, if you took all the chrome in the parking lot off those cars and put it into your hand, it would fit in half the palm of your hand. There's nothing on them. Those parts, before they go in the tank, look chrome. They're polished, flawless. All the buffing's done. So if you get a chance, or maybe there's a YouTube video, I don't know. Never looked for one. Look for a YouTube video, or if you get a chance to stop by a chrome shop, ask them if you could watch the process. You know, if you keep your eyes open and pay attention in life, there's a lot of things you can learn from a lot of other trades. Plumbers, you can learn how to solder, because most people don't know how to solder. If you watch an electrician, you can learn kind of organization, a good electrician. You see a service panel box that the wires are going all crazy. That guy didn't know what the hell he was doing. But then again, I do have an advantage. I've been a mechanic all my life. Of sort. I mean, in the Navy, I was a painter, trained by the government how to paint. My friend Don Shipley, the Navy SEAL, he asked me, what did I do in the Navy? I said, I was a painter of gray. Then he said, on USS Paint Me Daily? Nope, airplane. We didn't sand those, though. There wasn't any sand. Well, we did flat brush, but there wasn't any sanding like this. Attention to detail. Well, let's see how this is gonna look. This is another detail back here. On the back of the fuselage was so narrow I had to make a wart on one side. I don't know if you can see it there. But I had to make a wart on one side to clear the control horn. So it's kind of a unique shape, much like the headrest. So it's going to take some time to sand that in. Probably have to make up some special sanding tools to get down in the cracks. I looked in the cockpit. I'm going to have to make some special sanding tools to get down in there. Color should go on this probably around Wednesday. No, wait a minute. Today's Tuesday. Around Thursday. I got to run over to Wicks and pick up some paint on Thursday. So maybe, I don't know. By the weekend, it should be red anyway. Red and gold. My thought was to dust a white base coat on it, shoot the gold radiators, tape those off, and then spray it the Miss Ashley red. So if I'm going to get this ready to go, my day tomorrow will consist of sanding. On Christmas Day, yep, on Christmas Day we're going to sand. You got a question, type it into the chat box, because I got it open. I'm watching it. Like I said, I haven't made up my mind whether I'm going to prime the leading and trailing edges and the wingtips, but I probably will. Depends on what this weighs when I weigh it tonight. If you're going for light, you got to keep weighing it as you go, because it can get away from you so fast it's ridiculous. I could make this 60 ounces in a heartbeat. And we're shooting for under 40, or 40 or under. Okay. I'm sure this is boring as hell, but if you guys want to see it. You're not going to believe the results of all this work. I can tell you that right now. If you watch the finish on the last few I didn't do this much. I just flew it. And if you're not weight conscious, you can shoot a coat of urethane on these, and they're beautiful, but you're sacrificing mega ounces. And don't let anybody tell you that it only adds an extra ounce, because that's nonsense. About 3 ounces per coat. There's a reason real airplanes are painted with dope. Okay, let's see. You love old school. Good, Dimitri. Yeah, I'm definitely old school. I'm taking it down now to the translucent state. We'll be adding some more back there to oh boy. It probably doesn't show up, but I can see the wood starting to peek through on this now, and you want to make it even. keep sanding until it's even. It's kind of like hollowing a block. When you hollow a block, you hold it up to the light, and when it turns a peach color, you're more than welcome, Dimitri. When the wood turns a peach color in the light, then you have it thin enough. If you can't see any light through the block, it's not thin enough. Bob Giske used to say, you don't go through in some spots, you ain't hollowing it thin enough. And I suppose that's true. Well, let's see. Do we need to see that sandpaper? It was loaded up completely. I wiped it on the. This is some great stuff. Get it from Amazon. Pricey, but you'll save in the long run. This roll of sandpaper here will probably build 5 airplanes. I also get their 80 grit. It doesn't quite last as long because it's not as big as many feet. And 80 grit sandpaper the rocks seem to round over faster than this fine grit paper. No, guys, this ain't beer. Cream soda. So, as I stated, once you start sanding and you see any dark spots, that dark spot is a low spot. So you want to, like right here. Well, yeah, right. No, that's not a low spot. Anyway, you want to keep sanding until you get all the low spots out. So if you're sanding and you get the primer is starting to be gone, but you still got that low spot, you need to put some more paint on it, more primer. Right here you see that transition line I'm talking about, and we're going to sand and massage this until that line goes away. Because trust me, if you can see it in the primer, it will stick out like a sore thumb in the paint. Yep, see, I'm starting to come through, got sanding down to the wood. And that line is still there, needs some more primer. So instead of wasting my time, we'll just add some more primer. Dust. Get you. Oh, there was a question about how can you stop the fuzzies on polish pad. Well, first off, I hope that you got the polish pan on in the right orientation. The shiny side goes up. If you put the rough side up, you might as well forget it. You might as well strip it off the wing and redo it. But if you get a little spot and the fuzzies come up and you just can't, keep doping and sanding, and the fuzzy still drop some CA on it, spread it around, you're done. Put a little more dope over the top of that, and it's perfect. You go back and watch my how-to polish span. I think I did 3 of them: the shoestring, the Continental, and the Monado. And I think it's in the Monado polish span. No, wait a minute. The Monado was soak span. So I did 2 of them. I did this airplane Thank you very much, Dimitri. I did this airplane here, the red, white, and blue one, in polyspan. And boy, it's dusty. And the wingtips wouldn't lay down. Well, when you're heating them and pulling them around, if you can't get the polyspan to stick, I just CA'd it down, just glue it down. And you got, when you're using polyspan, you it's kind of a cross between tissue and monocoat. If you watch me work it on the shoestring video or the Continental video, where I get to the tips and I'm heating and pulling at the same time. But it's basically, once you get good enough that you can get the covering on every time with zero wrinkles in it, where the professional results are coming out, all the covering's the same. Monocoat, silk span, it's all, it's basically all the same procedure. The trick with monocoat, and I don't like monocoat because it looks cheap, is to use as little amount of heat as possible. Otherwise, you'll end up out at the field with bags in your wing. Because monocoat's always going to want to go back to its original shape. It's got a memory. Yeah, I'm going to have to hit that with some green. That looks like I dug sandpaper. That's just a lot easier to put CA on it, Steve. Then set CA wicket on there, wipe it off with your hand, sand it with 320, and you're ready to go. Looks like I dug a groove with 80 grit when I shaped it right there. I can't move the camera around. I think tomorrow I'll put in the extender wire so I can. I'll try to show you here. Remember I was complaining about a dark line? Well, that dark line, after I've sanded it and primed it, if you look at it real close, I dug that with 80 grit sandpaper when I sanded that line in there. So in order to get that out, we'll have to put some spot putty on it. I got some spots back here still too. All these compound curves on this airplane are going to give that, these are basically focal points. So look right here, it changes in the shadow, it changes the look in several different areas. So you got to sand that, prime it, and sand it until it's completely flat. Otherwise, it'll look like a dent, a dented car fender. right now is when you want this soft block. You don't want to use your hands. I might use my hand a little on the nose, but it won't be much. You could sand grooves into this primer pretty easy with your fingers. You know what's bad is when I first shot this primer on, it reminded me how much work is left because it looked like a disaster. Hard to get motivated watching you help your product. That's good. In order to build nice airplanes, you have to have the desire. I think that's one of the reasons why I like this hobby. It's something I can do by myself. I'm the guy responsible for the outcome. And then when I set it down on the field, wow, my work shows up. I don't know why that won't go away. I might have to dig that out. There might be a problem. It looks like a dented fender. Oh well. So back to the aqua green. Be real sparing with his aqua green stuff and sand it off because man, it's super heavy. So you look what I did there is I just put a thin skim coat on top of that down into that crack. I guess that's what I'm going to probably have to do back here. A little nib right there too. Put it on, sand it off. Put it on, sand it off. So we're up here. This is the spot that I have 0 boogers in. So I'm basically sanding this, getting this ready to go. It will not get any more primer up here. We're sanding all the primer off so it's translucent. Now you can do this exact same job without primer. The results just aren't quite as good, but they are lighter. I suppose listening to my friend Ron O'Toole, he said they used to do this with clear dope, but I guess you could. Well, they didn't even put tissue on them, according to him. I think that would look like shit. You set your airplane out on the tarmac for one summer and the grain would show. So all that work would be wasted. Well, I think you're Steve MCQN. I hope you're motivated. I hope you're sanding while you're watching. Because that's what it's about, sanding. I'll probably do the leading edge. I mean, it's just a lot of work, that's all. I'll guarantee that I'll have a day in the fuselage, a day in the wing, and about 5 minutes of the paint job. It's worth it in the long run, though. Any of you ever painted any intricate, hey, Steve McQueen. You ever painted any intricate paint jobs other than when I do my stencils? Back in the old days, we used to tape all the patterns, and you either use tin foil or paper to cover the rest of the airplane. And if you watch some of Wendy videos, he did the same thing. That took an inordinate amount of time to tape, and it takes like 2 seconds. You go spray, and then it takes half the time to untape it. But that plotter I got, that cutter, that sure made things easy. When my friends now ask, "Hey, can you cut me a stencil?" Yeah, I'll cut you one. I cut a stencil, you can put a stencil on, about 5 minutes. Before it was hours of taping. That was a good investment. Okay. I'll give a close-up of what I'm doing here. See if we can't get a better look at the translucence of the primer. You can't really see it on the video. But that helps show it up by spraying it. once you get the primer on and you get all the bugs out of it, all the dots, if you look close here, you can see that it's sanded so thin the wood is starting to show through. And that's the only way, let's see, maybe we can get it. It's the only way you're going to get a light airplane using primer is to sand it all off. Back to the old cream soda. I don't think I showed it on camera, but I'll explain how to do it. If you look at my cowl line here, no, it's not tight, but let's see here. I guess I could tighten it up. That ain't it. That ain't it. Now maybe I can't tighten it up. Gotta have the ball driver for it. I just kind of hate to do it because it might get glued on there. Let me clean it off, make sure it's okay. In order to get these two surfaces to mate perfect, how I do that is wrap the nose with saran wrap with a cowl off, of course, engine out, saran wrap, and pull it tight. Then you're going to take superfill and leave a 1/8-inch thick turd of superfill around the outside of the cowl. Then you're going to put it back on the airplane. And screw it down. Now this has been done already, so it doesn't much, you know, I don't think I showed it on camera. I think I did it in the middle of the night, so because it bothered me so bad. But that's how you get that nice line in the cowl. Then in the morning when you wake up, you take it apart, take it off, peel the saran wrap off, and you have a perfect joint. See, I give away all my secrets. And I got a big line on that one. It's gonna take some work. So might as well not even bother with it. Might as well just put some primer on it. You know you're gonna need it. Big line back there. It's kind of in the details. When I'm judging appearance at the Nats or wherever it might be, I'm looking at all these spots. How much time was taken to get the buggers out of it. How does the cow fit? You know, attention to detail. And you know, it's a personal preference. If you don't care about it, you know, you don't have to do it this way. I mean, this is not the right way or the wrong way. This is just my way, and I'm kind of passing it along to you. And I get good results. Anybody that has seen my airplanes, you know, Steve Hines on here, he's seen my stuff. Of course, there's other guys that I'm sure are on here that I don't know who it is, but when I started Stun Hanger, I first went over to Stuka Stunt, and nobody knew who I was. And I was spouting off different things because, you know, giving answers to questions that were legitimate answers. And they said, well, you can't do that. Well, shit, I think at that time, 40 some years. So that's why I decided to do this Stun Hanger and YouTube. Just to show you. I mean, it's a whole lot easier to show you than it is for me to type and take pictures. Another thing, if I tell you something in person or on Stun Hanger, it's gospel. You know, it's tried and true. What the answer? Whether you like the answer or not, you know, when I tell you, like they say, well, my airplane weighs 75 ounces or whatever. Well, a toilet seat will fly. All you have to do is put a big enough motor on it, and trust me, it will. I've threatened a couple of times to make some of that old stuff like I used to make and take it out and fly it. They don't fly well, but neither does a 75-ounce airplane. And I'm sure the critics will say, well, I'm a Nats champion and my airplane weighs 70 plus. I don't care. I hate how they fly. I hate them. I hate them so much. I sold my other airplane before I finished it, a PA-75. And it's a beautiful airplane, straight, light. It's just, I know I'm not going to like it. So why head down that path? It's a waste of time. I've changed paths before. And it's helped. You know, I don't want to keep. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Some people can get used to that delayed turn and all that pull in the wind. Kind of throws you off balance when the wind's blowing a gale. Let's see here. We need a piece of paper on the edge. man. Put it on, take it off. First there was one boy, now there are two. If you take pride in your airplane and you fix all the little details, when you're done, all the little details add up to a spectacular model. If the airplane has a real nice finish on it, but no attention was paid, to the details, to me, they don't look that great. It looks like a shiny airplane. I don't know how many of you guys knew Roger Wildman, but if you look at his airplanes, that man paid attention to detail. Basically like Charlie Reeves and Jim Lynch. If you look at Jim Lynch's volunteers close, well, that's why he was an appearance judge at the Nats with me, or he did it before me, and he helped me when I did it. He knows what he's looking for. I don't see why they can't do the pilot seating and pilot choice, picking of the pilot just the way I did the Christmas giveaway. Did you see how fast that was? Yep. If you guys were at the Nats the year I judged appearance, and know that I did 70 some airplanes in under an hour and no complaints. If I ever CD the Nats or ever the event director or whatever, it's going to be a whole new program on how to select pilots. Everybody going to get a number. We're going to push the button and let Google pick the number. Let Google pick the order. I think it was probably 06 or 07. It took forever for them guys to judge the airplanes. I know I said I don't open-handed sand much except for on this round edge back here, because I've already got it flat. We're just trying to get all the primer off now. And it's round, so light pressure. I'll dig my fingers into it. Yes, you saw me just change hands. I stand equally well with both hands. That helps. Well, we still got 12 viewers. I guess I'm not that boring. Either that or you guys are laughing at me. Who in the hell would spend that much time on an airplane? The primer I'm using is Crest High Build Primer, stock number AH-BG. It's $15 a can. It's ridiculous. But it's basically the same as DC 540, only DC 540 was $3 a can. This is $15 a can, but seeing as we can't get it no more, kind of got you by the short here. Took me 20 years to find DC 540, and then they changed the formula on me. And it's totally useless now. They might as well quit making it. Because anybody that buys it's gonna know it's junk. Duplicolor primer is no good. I've heard the guys using it, but of course I've also heard the guys using 3608S DuPont, or I think it's DuPont. Thinner. And to me, that thinner makes the dope rubbery. Whoa. The primer I recommend is this Crest. Just look it up on the internet. Crest, C-R-E-S-T, High Build Primer Servicer. We bought a dozen cans. Pretty pricey. But I split it with, maybe it wasn't a dozen, maybe it was, yeah, it was a dozen, because I got 6 cans of mine and 6 cans of his, yeah. I think it was $150 for 6 cans, or 12 cans. They give you a small break. You buy a case. I got 1 can of DC 540 down there left. Well, if you I think, no, I didn't bring it. Well, I just don't know. I mean, I realize you're looking for something cheaper. I just don't know what it is. If you had to have cheap, I would probably make my own. You want to know how to make your own? I can tell you. I just find it really convenient to use spray can primer instead of having to make primer and fire up the compressor and get out the gun and spray it. Quart of dope. Take clear dope and get yourself some zinc stearate. Randy Smith sells it. You can use baby powder, but be aware that you really need to use unscented baby powder. But I have used scented. Be aware that baby powder is talc, and talc is rock. It comes from gypsum, and it's heavy. So, quart of clear dope, 2 heaping great big cups in it throw it in the clear dope until it kind of gets pasty or whatever. Put a couple drops of black in it to gray it up, and thin it down and shoot it. But it is, I would get zinc stearate, which is, let's see if I got that jar handy here. Yeah. Aero ZS filler powder, 2 to 4 tablespoons per quart. You can spray or brush. So this is zinc stearate. It's a fine white. It's not talc. It's what they use in that primer there. If you want to dry it fast, you can mix it with xylene. But then again, my hands are tingling right now because this primer's got xylene in it. So be very careful if you do mix it with xylene. Xylene is a pretty potent thinner, but it does dry fast. When I was in the Navy and we were painting, we used to have MEK and MIK. Well, methyl isopropyl ketone is a good cleaner, not quite as good as carbon tetrachloride, but that's what we used to use to wipe things down with MIK. And MEK is a super hot lacquer thinner. It's probably twice as hot as lacquer thinner, so you got to be real careful with that. And MEK is what's also used as activator for polyester resin. So any of your fiberglass resin, if you don't have any activator, use MEK. And that's all the activator is MEK. But it, like I say, that's pretty hot thinner. So if you got sensitive hands or hands that'll, my hands have been doing this so long. That nonsense about, I suppose it could cause cancer. Well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor or whatever, but you're not supposed to drink it. I'm in my 60s and I'm not dead yet from you know, using gasoline I used to wash her hands with gasoline and paint thinner, and still do it. Results vary though. Some people get sick. I kind of hate to tell stories like that because people do some strange stuff. Back when I was painting signs, we used to use a stuff called one-shot sign painter's enamel. And you could load the paintbrush, you're more than welcome. You could load the paintbrush and make one stroke, and that thing would be covered, 100% opaque. Well, can't do that today, and you'll never know why. They took the lead out of the paint because lead causes cancer. Well, you ain't supposed to eat the damn paint. When I was a kid, I used to watch my mom. She'd always be sticking things in the wall. So I didn't know I was little, 4 or 5 years old. I had no idea what she was sticking in the wall. So I found one of her bobby pins and I stuck that puppy in the wall. I got shocked. It only took once. I never did that again. That was not a good idea. Everybody's so protected now, you don't know what the hell's going on. We used to jump off our bikes into the ivy. You get ride really fast, jump off the bikes in the ivy. Well, we didn't have helmets or elbow pads or any of that nonsense back then. My friend Ricky Seacard, he had a stick go right through his private, jumping into the ivy. He lived. He didn't do that again. We used to watch the old bomber movies. I can't remember the guy's name. And, me and we drew airplanes when we were young. All the guys in the neighborhood would get together and we'd draw P-40s and, bombers and all kind of measures. It's all kind of airplanes. We used to take bed sheets and jump off the garage roof and use it as a parachute. Didn't work very well, but we were having fun. Boy, if that went on today, the mother would get thrown in jail for child endangerment. But we all survived. Imagine that. Boy, that line there is going to be a bummer to get out. So remember, you can use baby powder for filler and dope, but baby powder is heavier than zinc stearate. But you can get that zinc stearate from Randy Smith. His shop's, I don't know if you know who that is or not, but if you're on Stunhanger, he's down in the vendor's corner, and he's one of the moderators. And it's a cheap way to do things because everybody's got clear dope and like I say, I like the spray can primers because it's easy, convenient. I suppose you could make some primer up and they sell a reusable spray can. You could put it in and make your own. You might want to even tint the primer white, you know, the clear dope white, and add some black to it to get it down to a polar gray like this. But it works. It works all right. It's a lot cheaper than $15 a can. I can remember riding my bicycle to El Monte Airport and buying certified dope from the hangar there. And what they used to use for primer, certified primer, was a silver UV blocker. Well, the thing was, it didn't sand worth a crap. Of course, we didn't know what we were doing back then. We were having fun. We didn't. That time in life. Thank you very much, George. That time in life, we didn't really care. You know, the airplanes were more utilitarian. We flew busters and shoestrings and ringmasters, flight streaks. We used to build probably 4 of those a month because we were piling them up. Okay, let's go back. Let's see what this looks. The headrest looks like. Remember, the focal points of the airplane is what I really want to bring out. The nose has to be contoured really well, and this headrest, where it's molded into the rudder, has to look like one piece, one flowing piece. So any dents or deviance in it would not be good. George, where do you fly? And are you a member of Stun Hanger? And if you're not, why not? Yeah, that come out good. I can see that already. I'll have to turn it gray and see what it looks like, but looks like I got that sanded in really well. I think I still got one problem spot back here, though. This side or the other side? Yeah, but this side. Ridiculous. When I set this puppy down on the tarmac, it's going to look beautiful. And the nice thing about it, it'll be 40 ounces. We hope. I won't be able to lie to my buddy John though. Tell him, oh no, I didn't use any primer because of this video. But it don't matter. I tell him all my secrets anyway. There are no secrets. When I was a kid, everything was a secret. Couldn't figure out how to bend wood, couldn't figure out I-beams, couldn't. Paint was a mystery. No wonder why a lot of people didn't stick with it. Couldn't get any help. Man, it's still there. That one went away. Not bad. One more sand out, it should go away. That one there is going to be a problem. And there we go. We got plenty of primer in there now. So one more sand out on that. One more sand out on the rudder, that spot there. I don't know, except it keeps. I wonder if the paper's coming up. I've had that happen before. I don't have any stick pins here. I took them all to Dayton. Need to check this. If it's coming up, I'm gonna poke a hole in it, wick some CA in it. That's what it is. Unbelievable. They get the paper stuck down in that spot. That's why every time I put this primer on it, it's lifting up. And it's only, it's small, it's minute, but it's going to bother me. So we're going to have to dig that out of there, or I think dig it out is probably the best. I'll peel that up, smooth some green shit in there, and then prime it. Because guaranteed, if it's a problem now, come July, when it's 105 degrees on the tarmac, it'll be a big problem. I sure love this Japanese tissue that I got from the Free Flat guys in England. Well, are you guys bored to death yet of watching me sand for the last, I don't know how long we've been, 2 hours? Oh boy. So I need to get out the X-Acto knife and dig that spot out. And I'm going to show that on camera. There we go. I got a dull X-Acto knife and nothing open. Oh well. Should be able to get it out. Let's see if we can see it on camera. Gonna have to wait for the camera to catch up. There's a spot right here. And it keeps coming back. And what's happened is I didn't get the tissue stuck down good enough. So in order to get rid of that, we should have brought the scalpels. Okay, I made an incision, just like an operation. Could have been a surgeon if the knife was sharper. Okay, get out the shit. Okay, I know I threw them in here. Yep. Quick set at CA. I got to cut the tip off of this. Ain't enough. This is the bad part of doing this. It spills out everywhere. Damn. This is some hot stuff. It glued my finger so quick, it was ridiculous. Okay, make a hole. I like using these, I think they're made out of nylon, not nylon, Teflon tubes. Come on. You have to cut the tip off big enough to get the nylon tube to slide down in there. And that can be a problem. So you want to get it in there like so. And we're just going to wick some CA down in that little crack I just cut in there. And that's it. I hope that trick helps you sometime. And I will guarantee, had you not have seen that, you'd have never known it was there when I'm done. But I'd have known it was there. That's why the inside of this airplane is sanded just as good as the outside. Not that you can see it, but I know it's there. Okay, now aqua green. Let it dry. I'll sand that, hit it with some primer, gone. Hey, Tim, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you. I'm in my home element, sanding. Great Christmas. I have a week to complete this paint job. Most guys take months. I will do this paint job in a week. Because I'll stay up 24 hours a day until it's ready. Oh, man. Always the spot. when you guys are shaping something and you end up having a hard time shaping it because you got a hard piece into a soft piece, wait until you put the dope and the tissue on it before you sand it, because that'll harden the other side up and make it a lot easier to blend. We still have to paint this, glue the canopy on, take the canopy off, and paint it again. So there's quite a bit of work to do. Almost dry. Thank you very much, Tim. Remember, there's always somewhere to sand. You got plenty of plenty of space. Well, that's right. I still got this part I need to sand back in. Probably one more coat of primer. I'll get that scratch out. I should have carved that all in one block. I think I got it. So I need to shoot it with primer and see if I got it. If I did, then I can bone it out. That got it. So now when that dries, that can all be sanded translucent. I should be able to get this fixed here, and then it's all about knocking it down until all the primer's gone. Till it's like the nose I showed you up here. Randy Powell says it best: the paint job is never completed; it's only abandoned. And you really don't realize that until it's the time you say, well, I've had enough. I'm going to paint it. Because you could spend a month or more going over every spot. And the more time you spend on this little stuff like this, the better the paint job comes out. I have about, let's see, I didn't get here till 3, 4, 5. I only have about 6 hours into this fuselage sand out so far. I'll probably have 15 into this phase of it, and then I'll weigh it tonight before I go to bed. But I have to make a decision whether I'm gonna tape off the center section and prime the leading edge. I know the wheel pants are going to get the same treatment. I'm not sure about the stabilizer. Probably. It's hard to help yourself once you get this far. Hit that like button, hit the share button, super chats help. Appreciate you guys watching. Wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't do this. I mean, I would build airplanes, but I certainly wouldn't take the time to stream. But it's hard to talk for 2 and 3 hours unless you're rusty. But this ain't a hangout. This is a sanding tutorial. And like I said, it's very hard to teach people how to sand over the internet. I didn't think I'd like that, but I drink Dr. Pepper, but that was kind of a nice change to drink that cream soda. Okay, let's see if we got this is dry enough to sand. I want to make sure that you guys can see the repair that I did here. Make sure it's going to be worth it. Because there was that bubble. If it comes back with again, I'm going to be super pissed. Put CA in it. Looks like there's another one down below it. That one went away and one came up below it. Shit, I might end up cutting that all out of there and putting some super fill back there. Thanks, Terry. Merry Christmas to you. Are we still streaming? I guess we are. I don't know. I'll do one more sand out if that little dot right there doesn't go away. I'll take a grinder and grind that whole thing out and put super fill in it. 2 hours been sanding on this. I hope you guys are sanding along with me, because if you haven't, you just wasted 2 hours of building time. That's good, Terry. That turned out nice. I got rid of that big groove that was in there. But now we got this here. Let's see, is this, what is this? Yep, that's a spot too. We'll do like a snake bite, make it X. X marks the spot. I already put the glue away. Or did I? What the hell did I do with the glue? That tough getting old. Tough getting old. Just what I didn't want to do. Oh well. That's going to be a bummer. I'm going to have to turn this on its side to get that to go in there. Well, I got it in there. I think I'll leave the CA out, because I think there's probably going to be some more. If there's many more repairs back there, I'm just going to take the grinder and grind a hole in it. Mix up some super fill and put it in there. But this right here, that wasn't smart. Yeah, not too bad. I don't think we're going to have to even putty that one. I think we'll just hit it with some primer. I swear if it pops up again, we're going to do some drastic surgery. But I'll have to wait till I get some razor blades or something. See what happens this time. Xylene is so hot that I think that'll go away. We'll give it a minute to dry, sand it out, hit it again. I think that got it. Remember, if you can see it in the primer, it'll stick out like a sore thumb in the paint. If you can feel it, it'll show. If you don't like it, you might as well fix it now. Yeah, that crack came back. It's still not out. So, hit it again. It's probably more than good enough, but my dad used to say, Robert, it's got to be perfect. His speed planes were hand rubbed lacquer, black. Man, I don't know, because I'm going to have to put some tape there too. I bet I'm going to have a big problem there with that side. I'll have to give it a test before I go any farther. Everybody see how fast that dried? That's the power of xylene. That's why your hands tingle when you're sanding. I know it's not good for you, you know. Well, that looks pretty good so far. Unless I paint it and it bubbles again. If it does, then I got a big adhesion problem. Okay, let's hit it with some another thing of paint. Of course, I don't know. I still feel it a little bit. Minnesota Mike. The colors are going to be exactly like the other one I painted. Miss Ashley red with gold radiators. Silver nose and a black stripe. It's going to look just exactly like an MC72, which it's modeled after. It'll have a green, white, and red rudder stripe back here, like the original. I got that real nice pearl green metallic from Bob. Thank you very much, Leonard. Merry Christmas to you. There we go. That got it. Maybe one more sand out. Yeah, it'll work. Hey, not a problem, Len. Glad to be of help. I just, when I see people out at the circle, their airplanes are looking better, and they thank me for sharing what I know. That kind of makes me feel good. So that's why I do it. Took me a lifetime to learn what I know about model airplane finishing and building. And I don't know everything yet. Working on it. Working on it. I guess it's going to be all right. You look right here. This is one piece, this is one piece, this is one piece, and this is one piece. And they all look like, they don't look like 5 pieces. They all look like one. This, these fuselage sides and all that. You got to keep sanding and puttying or whatever to get it all look like one piece. The whole thing's going to look like a piece of plastic before I'm ready to paint. Epoxy paint you need, huh? Well, I don't use it, so I don't know anything about it. Well, I used it in the Navy, but I don't use it on model airplanes. Too heavy. It's a good durable finish if that's what you like. I mean, a good utilitarian finish. Oh boy, I've been talking for 2 hours. Sorry. I know it's kind of boring. Out of breath. Well, thanks, Glenn. It's, in order to build good models, it's just a desire. I can remember when I was a kid, and I asked Tom Warden, "Hey, where'd you get that airplane?" And they said, "Well, you got to make them. You got to make them, man." And I never thought that I would be able to build an airplane that looked as good as Tom's. But I kept bugging. Well, we're getting there. It may be boring, but the results will shine as always. Yeah, it's boring. Not to me, because I'm doing it. But yeah, ask Len. He's seen my airplanes. What do they look like, Len? Oh man. I need to put this together and weigh it to see how much weight I picked up, see how much I got to sand off. Do I have a scale here even? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. That's that side. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was up like that, so that's got to go on this side. Nope. Go on this side. Nope. Goes on this side. What the hell? I'm going to tell you exactly how much this primer weighed, how much it added. Remember, I just primed the fuselage. You got to be so careful with this priming stuff. Okay. Man, I wish YouTube would let me have music in the background. Yeah, Monado is pretty nice. This is going to have a better finish on it than the Monado. That's my goal anyway. Only it won't have gold leaf letters because yeah, well, I'll worry about it later. How much a puppy weigh? I guess I can work on the wheel pants next. I'll let this other stuff kind of set up. I know what it weighed before I primed it. Let's see what it weighs after I primed it. That'll be interesting. Might be devastating. Okay. Okay. This thing will be back and forth together another 100 times before it's finished. Got to keep an eye on the weight. Oh, it's getting heavy. Let's see, it's supposed to balance here. Still crazy nose heavy. Okay. Not real accurate doing it this way, but it's something. Picked up a ½ ounce because it's all sanded back off. If you don't believe me, I want to make sure everything's honest and on the up and up, and make sure you can see the scale. It was 35 ounces when I started. It now weighs, make sure you can see it. Come on. $35, $50, $35. I don't know, but it's about 35 and a half. So that's relatively good. I'll probably end the stream for tonight because I'll spend the rest of the night sanding, and I know you guys won't spend all night with me, so any questions before I end the stream? Put it on, sand it off. One more time. This is Crest High Build Primer, stock number AHBG. It's $15 a can. It goes a long ways. And it's super good stuff. You got to buy a minimum of 6 to get them, but we bought 12. John and I split a case. That I didn't find that. One of the guys here on the, I can't remember his name. One of the guys on the Saturday night chat found it. It does not dry quite as fast as DC 540. It has higher solid, so it's heavier. That a can of this stuff. This is a brand new can. Let me we'll get the weight on it here. This is a brand new can. The weight of the can of paint is 17 ounces. DC 540, I believe, is better, but you can't get it no more, so this is what we got. 17 on that can. $5.90 on this can, so, and this is probably still, there's probably still that much in it. I thought it was more like 2 pounds. Each can weighs a pound, a little over a pound. Yep, you can put any paint over it you want. The reason being is it's the same formula as DC 540, which is, let's see, they even tell you on here. Let me see if I can read it. Let me get these other glasses on. When you buy these primers, don't buy generic primers that say it has, I don't know, generic terms on it. This one here tells you right in it, this shit will kill you. Let's see, not for sale in California, so it's, you know, it's got to be halfway good. It's Crest Industries where it comes from, and I think they're out of Michigan somewhere. Let's see here. Anti-poison. Listen for mixing. Where's the ingredients? I know it's on here somewhere. Well, I'll just read it to you. Danger: extremely flammable aerosol. Contents under gas under pressure. May explode if heated. May be fatal if swallowed and enters airways. Causes skin irritation. Causes serious eye irritation. May cause respiratory irritation. May cause drowsiness, dizziness, suspected of causing cancer. May damage an unborn child. Suspected of damaging fertility, may cause damage to organs through prolonged and repeated exposure. Obtain, let's see, I want to know I know it tells you what's in it because I read it once. For industrial use only. Oral toxicity contains solvents which cause permanent brain and nervous system damage. Intentional misuse by deliberately concentrating and inhaling the contents may be harmful or fatal. For industrial use only, referred to SDS for affirmed information. Keep them cool. Do not discard empty can and trash compactor. Percentage of mixture consisting of ingredients known for oral toxicity. 30% of the mixture consisting of ingredients of known dermal toxicity. 50% of the mixture consisting of ingredients of unknown inhalation toxicity. 49%. Keep out of the reach of children. So you guys can't use it. Man, I know it. I read it. Oh, there it is, right there. Right to know. It contains acetone, talc, propane, butane, xylene, isyl acetate, toluene, propanol, titanium dioxide, ethyl benzene, and calcium carbonate. So, oh yeah, you can put super coats doesn't have any hot stuff in it. This is super hot thinner, super hot. That's why your hands tingle after you get done sanding with it, just like DC 540. If it doesn't say benzene or xylene or one of them enes, it ain't no good. It's got to be super toxic for it to work worth a damn. Let me tell you a story. We had this, I was mechanicing, working on a motorcycle. This sales girl came in the shop, said, we got some new carburetor cleaner. And service writer came over and said, hey, Spark, would you test the carburetor, brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, whatever the hell was out? I go, yeah, I'll test it out. She goes, this is biodegradable, non-toxic, anti this, you can drink it. So she squirted it in her mouth. I said, yeah, but will it clean grease? So I smeared some grease on my workbench and she sprayed it on there, rubbed it around, kind of smeared it all over. And she got it up. It took a minute or so. She goes, this stuff works really great. I said, here, let me show you something that'll kill you. That works really good. I sprayed it on there in one swipe and it was gone. I said, if it ain't gonna kill you, it ain't no good. We don't want it. So when I'm doing these jobs, I'm looking for results. And the results, it comes with a cost. That should, like I said, it's $15 a can, but the nice thing about it is, when you're done that it has enough chemical in it that it bites into what you're into the next coat, and it's going to stay on. They also sell this can of this stuff. This is etch coat. Same company, stock number AP-E, self-etching primer. So let's say you have a metal spinner that you want to paint. This has a better top on it, I think, a better spray nozzle. But you have a spinner you want to prime and paint. You want to scuff it with 320 or whatever, then spray it with this. and let it dry, and then spray it with the other stuff and sand it smooth, and then put dope on it. And then the paint won't come off. This has, let's see what this has in it. I'm sure this has some good shit in it too. Get the other glasses back on. Make the damn print so tiny you gotta use 2 pair of glasses to read it. Okay, acetone, dimethyl chloride, methyl acetate, propane, butane, toluene, isobutyl acetate, titanium dioxide, ethyl 3-exopropate, methyl ketone, methyl isobutyl ketone. So that's MIK. I don't know why they'd have that in there. That's MIK is not very potent. Self-etching primer is designed to be applied over bare steel, chrome, stainless, and aluminum. It provides adhesion for additional primers and or top coats. So this is about $15 a can too. But I love these. Warning: extremely flammable, contains gas under pressure, may explode, may be fatal if swallowed and enters airways, causes skin irritation, causes eye irritation, may cause respiratory irritation, may cause drowsiness, dizziness, suspected of causing cancer, suspected of damaging the unborn child and organs throughout prolonged repeated exposure. How can I help you? What's up?
Do you have any leftover Chinese?
Hang on a second, guys.
Who are you talking to?
I'm live on air.
You gonna spend the night on the air? Not that I do, but
I don't know. Yeah.
thank you.
So if it ain't bad for you and it ain't gonna kill you, it ain't gonna work. So I guess that's gonna wrap it up for the evening. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate you watching. I hope I passed some bit of knowledge on to you. Be safe. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Wear a respirator. Wear gloves. Wash your hands. Don't breathe the shit. You know, whatever. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow sometime. I should have this fuselage knocked out by then. Till I see you again, Merry Christmas, fair winds, and tight lines. We'll see you tomorrow.